A very good morning, student. This is the lecture of object oriented programming using C++. Now this is your 9th lecture. We have started first chapter, that is principles of object oriented programming. In the last session we have completed our 4th subpoint. Now in this session we will start our 5th subpoint. So first we will see the learning outcome of this session. At the end of this session you will be able to explain decision making statement and loops with syntax and example. Means after completion of this session you can write the program by using the decision making statement. You can easily use the looping statement in our program. So first in this session we will see the decision making statement, and after that we will see the loops in this session or in the next session. After that we will see the content. This is 1.5, control structure, decision making statements and loops, that is looping statement. So we will start. First, what is control structures? In programming, control structures are the structures used to control the flow of a program. Control structures are used to alter the flow of execution of the program. Means what? Control structures are the statement which is used to change the control or path of the program. So why do we need to alter the program flow? So what is the need to change the path of our program? So see here the reason. The reason is decision making. In our life also we may be given with a set of options, like if you want to do electronics or computer science, we do make a decision by analyzing the certain condition. Suppose like our personal interest, if we want to or we have interest in a computer, so we decide to choose the computer engineering. If we have interest in electronics, so we can change the electronics trade. Okay, so depending upon our personal interest or scope of job opportunities, we can analyze this condition and we take one decision. Okay, with the decision we alter the flow of our life's direction. Means after 12th, if we decided to either we decided to do the engineering or medical, by using this decision we actually change the flow of our life's direction. This is exactly what happened in C and C++ program. We use control structure to make decisions and alter the direction of program flow in one or other paths available. So see here, what is control structure? Control structures are the statements or structure which is used to change the control flow of a program by using the decision making. So like C supports all the basic control structures and implements them various control statements. These control structures are mostly and mainly divided into two parts, that is decision making statement, that is conditional statements, and looping statement. So first we will see the decision making, afterwards we will see the looping. So what is decision making structures? Decision making structures require that the programmer specifies one or more conditions to be evaluated or tested by the program, along with a statement or statements to be executed if the condition is determined to be true, and optionally other statements to be executed if the condition is determined to be false. Now what is decision making structure? Means in this type of structure programmer has two or more conditions, and after that it will test that condition. If conditions become true or if condition is true, then it will select the other flow, and if condition becomes false it will execute the another statement. So this is a decision making. Show below is the general form of a typical decision making structure found in most of the programming language. So see here a diagram here. From here our program execution will start. First one is a condition. In decision making, first it analyze or test this condition. If that condition is true, if the condition is true, it will execute this conditional code. But if this condition is false, it will change the flow of our program, control flow of our program. Means what? Here it makes the decision. If condition is true, we have to execute this code or this statement, but if condition is false, it will choose the another branch. Okay, this is nothing but the decision making. Depending upon the decision, we can change the path of or control flow of a program. So this decision making again divided into different statements. Mostly it is divided into two types, that is if else and switch statement. In if else there are another decision making statement. These are the basic decision making statement like if else, that nested if else, and last is a switch. This is the basic decision making statement, and here we are showing the sentence of the statements. We are going to see these all decision making statement into briefly. So this is the just overview of the decision making statement, or here it is summarized into a single diagram. Decision making statement: simple if else, nested if else ladder, switch. These all statement we have already studied into the C language. There is no any change in the CPP language, but in the syllabus it is mentioned we are going to see the decision making statement. So first we will start it from the simple if statement. The syntax format of a simple if statement is as shown in below. In this session, all the syntax of the statement are shown in the red text. So in your notebook you can note down this syntax. These syntax are very important. There will be a question in MSBT exam like explain simple if statement with its syntax and example. In that case we have to write the syntax of the statement. Also we should write the example, that is small program which contains the simple if statement. So now we will see the syntax of if statement. Here if is a keyword and in bracket expression. This expression is evaluated. This expression can be written by using the relational operator, logical operator, etc. Okay. If the expression is true, it will execute this statement which are inside the bracket. So see here, if expression, open curly bracket, statement 1, statement 2, close curly bracket, and statement next. This is the syntax of simple if. What will happen in this program? First, the expression which is written into the if bracket is evaluated first. If the value of expression is true, then then only it will execute the statement 1 and statement 2. But suppose the expression value gives the false result, then it will directly execute the statement next. See here, in both the cases that statement next will be executed, because if expression is true, then statement 1 will be executed, statement 2 will be executed, after that statement next will be executed. But if the expression is false, it skip this bracket part, means it is not going to execute this statement 1 and statement 2, but it directly execute the statement next. Okay. The expression given inside the bracket after if is evaluated first, means this expression is evaluated first. If the expression is true, then statements inside the curly braces, that is statement 1 and statement 2 will be executed. If the expression is false, the statement inside the curly braces will not be executed and program control goes directly to the statement after the curly braces, that is statement next. But again remember, in both the cases statement next will be executed. This is the simple if statement. Now we will see one example and flowchart of the simple if statement. First we will see the flowchart. Here start, after that if condition. If the condition is true, then it will execute the if body. If body means what? This is the statement 1 and statement 2. This is the if body. If condition is true, it will execute the statement which are present in a curly bracket, inside the curly bracket. And if the condition is false, the program flow transferred to here after the if statement, that is statement just below if, and after that the program will be exit. If condition is true, then also if body is executed and the statement just below if is executed, and if statement is if condition is false, it will only execute the statement just below if. Okay, now see one program. Integer main, integer I equal to 10. Now 10 is a variable having value 10. If I is greater than 15, see here, I is greater than 15, that is 10 is greater than 15. Now it's false because 10 is not greater than 15, so this condition is false. So it skip this part, means it not going to execute this part, it directly comes here and it will print I am not in if. Okay, and suppose here we write I is equal to 20, means now I has the value 20. If 20 is greater than 15, now this expression is true because 20 is greater than 15. Now it will execute, that is 20 is greater than 15, and again it will again execute it will execute the I am not in if statement. See here, if I is 20, this condition becomes true, it will execute this if body part also and this statement also. If this condition is false, then it will only execute the I am not in if, that is the outside the statement, outside the if statement. Okay, this is the simple example and flowchart of the simple if statement. Now we will see the if else statement in C++. Now see here, the if statement alone tells us that if a condition is true, it will execute a block of statement, and if the condition is false, it won't be. But means what? In simple if statement, if condition is true, there is some block to execute, but if condition is false, there is no any block. But what else? If else, and if condition is false, it will execute the false. Here comes the else statement. We can use the else statement with if statement to execute a block of code when the condition is false. See here the syntax of the if else statement, and here is the flowchart of a if statement, if else statement. So see here, if condition, here is a if body. Now else is also keyword and it is a else body. Now if condition is true, it will execute this block if, and if this condition is false, it will execute this else part. Okay, so here we are writing condition. See here in the else there is no any condition. This condition is written after the if statement only. If condition is true, it will execute the if block. If condition is false, it execute the else block. See here the flowchart. Start if condition is true, it will execute the if body. In the simple if statement, if condition is false, it directly comes here. But in if else statement, if condition is false, it has another body, that is else body, and after that it will come the statement just below if, means after that the next statement will be executed and last the program will be exit. So see here, in if else, first the condition is evaluated. If the condition is true, then it will execute the if body. If condition is false, it execute the else body. And after completion of if or else body, it will execute the next statement. This is the if else statement. Now we will see one example. See here, integer I is 20. If I less than 15, it will execute I is smaller than 15. Else means if this condition false, it will execute I is greater than 15. Now see here, I is 20. 20 is less than 15. Is it true? 20 less than 15. Is it true? No, it is false. So it will execute I is greater than 15. That is 20 is greater than 15. It will execute the else part. Why? Because this condition is false. This is the if body and this is the else body. If condition is true, if body will be executed. If condition is false, else body will be executed. This is the simple if else statement. नाउ आता एवढा अजून होत नाहीये. राहू द्या, पहिला सकाळपासून ऐकलं करतो की एवढंच झालं. नाउ वी विल सी द नेस्टेड इफ इन C++. A nested if in C++ is an if statement that is target of another if statement. Nested if statement means an if statement inside another if. C and C++ allows a nested if statement within if statement. We can place an if statement inside another if statement. See here, what is that nested if means? If we are writing another if statement into the previous if statement, then it is known as a nested if statement. See here, if condition 1 and here condition 2. Now in the if body, we are writing the another if statement. Okay, if this condition is 1, if this condition 1 is true, then it will, the program flow come into this inside bracket. Now it will execute if condition 2. If condition 2 is true, then it will execute this if body. See here, if condition 1 is true, it will come inside. If condition 2 is true, it will come again inside. But if condition 1 is true but condition 2 is false, the program flow comes out of the inner if. And if condition 1 is false, then will not execute this if body, not execute the condition 2. If condition 1 is false, it will directly this outer if. Now see here program, and we will see the flow chart. Start, if condition is true, it will execute the if body. False, nested if condition true, will execute nested body. If nested if, that is inner if, is false, it will execute the, or it comes out of the if inside if statement. And if this condition, first condition is false, it will come outside the outer condition. See here, integer I equal to 10. If I equal to 10, if the value of I equal to 10 means this condition is now true, it will comes inside. Again it check if I is less than 15, so it is correct, it will execute I is smaller than 15. Again this is, it check the if I is less than 12. Now I is smaller than 12 too. So 10 is also smaller than 12. So these both statement will be executed. Now see here, it is a outside if and this is the inside if. This is also inside if else. Okay. Next we will see the nested if else in C++. Now previous is a nested if, here nested if else means suppose if we are trying to write if else into another if else, then it is known as a inside if else. So we need to use an if else statement inside another if else statement, then it is known as the nested else statement. Think of it as multiple layers of if else statement. There is a first outer if else statement and inside it is another inner if else statement. The syntax: first outer if else statement, that is if condition. If this condition is true, it comes inside and it will execute the condition 2. If condition 2 is true, it will execute this statement. If condition 2 is false, it will execute this else part. These are the inner if statement, inner if else statement. Suppose if condition 1 is false, it will comes here directly else. In else, here again condition 3. If condition if condition 3 is correct, it will execute the statement part. If condition 3 is false, it will execute this else part. Again see here, don't make any confusions. First condition 1 will be executed. If condition 1 is true, then program flow comes here inside. Again it will test condition 2. If condition 2 is true, it will execute this statement. And if condition 2 is false, it will execute this statement, that is else part. The another case, if condition 1 is false, it directly comes here else part, and after that it will execute statement. Again it will check the condition 3. If condition 3 is correct, true, then it will execute this statement. If condition is false, it will execute this statement. This is the nested if else. Now we will see one program. Suppose integer number, enter an integer number. Here user are inputting number. Now this number is not equal to 0. Means suppose this number is 1 and above, then this condition becomes true. And again inside it checks number modulus 2. Means this number gets divided by 2 perfectly, then this is the even number. And suppose number is modulus 2 is not equal to 0, then number is odd. Okay, and suppose take the value 4. 4 is not equal to 0, it is true, so it will come here. 4 modulus 2, it is 0 because 4 is divided by 2 and remainder is 0, so this is the number is even, that is 4 is a even number. If we will take the number as 5, 5 is not equal to 0, it is also correct. 5 modulus 2 is equal to 0, it is false because 5 modulus 2 is 1 and 1 is not equal to 0, so in that case the number is odd, means 5 is a odd. Suppose user type number 0. Now number 0 is not equal to 0. No, 0 is equal to 0, so this condition is false and it comes here and it will execute it, that is number is 0 and it is neither even nor odd. And after that this line is always printed, means if this condition is true or false, this line will be always printed. This is the example of nested if else. Now we will see the switch statement. A switch statement allows a variable to be tested for equality against a list of values. Each value is called a case, okay, called as a case, and the variable being switched on is checked for each case. The syntax of switch is like follows. Switch expression. Now this expression is matched with this constant expression. If both are matched, then this statement will be executed. It checks the expression with all the constant expressions. See here, case is a keyword, switch is a keyword, constant colon, switch statement. break is optional. We can use the break statement if you want to use. Next is the case second. We can write any number of cases, and last is a default statement, default colon, and this is the optional statement. Now we will see the example, then we can easily understand the switch statement. The expression used in switch statement must have an integral or enumerated type or be of a class type in which the class has a single conversion function to an integral or enumerated type. You can have any number of cases statement within a switch. Each case is followed by the value to be compared to as a colon. Means what? This expression, that is constant expression, should be in a numerical form or alphabet. There is a no float data type is used as a constant expression. And the second is a we can create any number of cases in a switch statement. The constant expression for a case must be same data type as the variable in the switch, and it must be constant or lit. Means what? The type of this expression and this constant expression should be same. When the variable being switched on is equal to case, statement following that case will be executed until a break statement is reached. When suppose this expression get matched with any constant expression, then that statement will be executed. Until what? Until it get the break statement. It will executed all the statement. Next, when a break statement is reached, the switch terminates, the flow of control jumps to the next line following the switch statement. Means suppose if this expression matched with this constant expression, it will execute the statement and it get the break statement. After that it will comes out of the switch statement. A switch statement can have an optional default case which must appear at the end of the switch. The default case can be used for performing a task when none of the case is true. No break is needed in the default case. Means if all the constant expression is not matched with switch expression, then default statement executed automatically and there is no need of break statement in the default statement. Now we will see one example, that is include IOStream integer main character grade D. Now D is the character. Now grade is a character data type. Now case 1, that is A. Now this grade has value D. This grade is matched with A. Now D is not equal to A. So this statement will be not executed. Now it will check with B. Okay, it is not matched. Now it will check another next case, that is C. C is not equal to D. Now it found that D. Now this grade D is matched with this case. Now this will be executed, that is U passed. The output is a U passed. After that break is here, so it will come out of the switch statement and it will execute your grade is D. You passed, your grade is D. This is the flowchart of the switch statement expression. This expression will match with case 1, case 2, case 3. If case 1 matched with expression, then it will execute the block 1 and it comes at end of the program. If 1 is not matched, it will match with case 2, like that case 3 up to the default. This is the example and flowchart of the switch statement. Now here we completed the decision making statement. We have seen the simple if statement,